one too.
Yeah,
No
so
pun
this is
intended.
Nacon, a French publisher, have acquired Big Ant Studios. So they're based in Southbank, Melbourne, and they're famous for the cricket and tennis titles. So Australian Open 1 and 2, and then also the cricket titles, so the Ashes and basically all the big cricket games that have come out in the last decade. They've developed all of them. They've also done a lot of port work for the Spyro series, and then also Halfbrick, which is a Brisbane developer in Australia, who make Jetpack, Joyride, and the Fruit Ninja games. So they were acquired for a maximum price of $54.8 million. Is that Aussie dollars or
Good
US
question.
dollars?
I'll see
Probably
if I can.
US.
I
more
imagine
likely
it is US. I
and
imagine
it wasn't
US.
in
Oh, it was
cash.
US, okay.
Obviously, a component of that was in shares
Okay.
over X amount of years, and yeah, it wasn't just like here's
Yeah,
$54 million off you go.
There was a lot of like financial information. I'm just going to take what was in the headline of the Kotaku article.
Yeah, I feel like this is something Intergod would be more across with this finance background.
Yeah, look, I think like all of this stuff, and I've said it in other shows, you get to see so much consolidation in the gaming industry because, for us, we've always followed gaming, more you guys for consistency. But gaming is becoming massive. Like even in the last couple of years, it's grown by like 20 to 40% from a revenue perspective, which is bonkers given that it was already bigger than Hollywood. So a lot of money is going into it, and people are just going, why are there like these little studios that are developing well-known games? It's from an economic point of view, it makes no sense because, they've got to have to spend money on all these, peripheral things like marketing, PR, all this kind of stuff, which is not the core of what they do. So from an economic perspective, it makes sense that the publishers go, well, we can scale that up. You don't need to do that kind of stuff. Just make the game. So I just feel like this whole year we're going to hear heaps of these stories, heaps of these small devs getting, and then my prediction would be you're going to see more of these smaller publishers, almost these, AA size publishers get swallowed up by the bigger publishers as well. So I feel like the whole year is going to be populated with that kind of stuff.
And interestingly, Nacon's actually publishing my number 2 most anticipated game of 2021, which is Still Rising. So,
interesting. I'm not very familiar with the European publishers like 505 and Nacon and stuff like that. What were you about to say, Mike?
No, I was going to say again, I just wish we kept it local.
Keep it
I'm
local.
a filthy immigrant, but I'm very passionate about trying to keep things local. I try to buy as much local stuff as I can, locally grown fruit. I'm just very...
What's the Romanian...
Most fruit in Australia is locally grown.
What's the game development scene like
surprised.
in Romania? Have they got any developers?
I actually think they do. They're surprisingly really, really big on tech, which is why they have...
I might look it up.
They have... I don't know how big they are in games. They do have Ubisoft. I know they worked on stuff like... what was that dogfighting, the plane game
Squadron?
that Ubisoft did? No, Ubisoft. It's like a Sky...
Don't know.
Hawk X or something. I forget what the name of it was. So I know they did a bunch of games.
Hawks,
that's the one. I don't know if they're big on it. They're big on tech in general. Like one of the biggest antivirus software is Bitdefender, which is a Romanian company.
Romanian. Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of little things, which is also why I think the government invested money in their internet infrastructure for them to, at one stage, they were like the 5th fastest or something in the world.
Well, it's better
you
than
wouldn't
Australia,
think that.
that's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's still better than Australia. It's insane. I mean, there's literally people, and I'm not even kidding you. There are literally people right now, probably. Well, I don't know about the time zone, but you know what I mean. That are on a horse and cart, because there's still quite a lot of people that literally have horses.
By the
and
way,
carts
can
there.
I just quickly say,
I'm not making
you're
this up.
Romanian. You're Romanian, so you're allowed.
Even
to
if
say
I wasn't,
this.
I'll still say this shit, but I am. So I'll beg out the Eastern Europeans as much as I want. So there are literally, like last time I went to Eastern Europe, I still saw that stuff. I saw people with their family on a horse and a cart, just going along in the village, and they pull out their phone, they pull out their iPhone or whatever they have, and they've got a faster internet connection on that thing than we have in Australia. It's insane.
By the way, I found an article it's from 2015, so it could be very outdated, but apparently quite a few publishers like Ubisoft, Gameloft, King, that make Candy Crush, even EA, they've had studios and people working from Romania before on different games. So that's pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is the thing, because it's cheap labor. It's You know, people are
Relatively, yeah, it would be. Yeah.
dude, but people are just equally smart in Romania as they are in Germany, but they're 1/3 the price.
Pretty much.
And I mean, to be honest,
So-
CD Projekt Red, it's in Poland, and the wages are about
Don't wanna-
1/3 of California game dev companies.
Hey, Assassin's Creed Rogue was developed in part in Romania, so there you go.
Interesting. There you go.
There you go.
Why not something new?
And you're right,
So, I
man.
don't know,
Hawks is definitely on this list
Hawks
as well.
was?
So yeah.
Cool. Okay, there you go.
Alright,
That's
well-
the only one I remember.
Let's
And that Agent 47 was born in Romania.
let's round out our acquisition news with some news that I've got my eye very well kept on.
Yeah.
So